You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Chris Flanagan. All new tonight, a former nonprofit leader, once known for activism around DC, is behind bars. She founded the now defunct Casa Ruby, a group that provided housing for LGBTQ youth. She was arrested this week, accused of using COVID relief money for personal use instead of paying employees. Our Marielle Carbone has been following the story closely since 2022 when the scandal first unraveled. And Marielle, this is really a long time coming.
Chris, it is. DC officials have been trying to nail down Ruby Corrado since the summer of 2022. That is when those allegations of mismanagement really came to light. But at that time, she fled to El Salvador. Now, in an unexpected return to the U.S., she was arrested by the federal government at a hotel in Maryland Tuesday. A former employee of Casa Ruby tells me this is a step towards healing.
I feel like this is redemption.
For former Casa Ruby employee Taylor Leanne Chandler, the arrest of her former boss is vindication.
When I walked out of that office on December 10th for not being paid for like 9 weeks, I was done, and I screamed at the top of my lungs the things that were happening there.
Chandler quit the nonprofit in 2018. More than 5 years later, its founder, Ruby Corrado, is in federal custody, charged with fraud and laundering.
There's relief after seeing someone do so much that's against the law finally come to ahead.
According to a criminal complaint, Corrado is accused of stealing at least $150,000 in COVID relief funding, moving the money into personal bank accounts instead of using it to pay employees at Casa Ruby. The nonprofit, which started in 2012, provided resources to the LGBTQ+ community, including housing for homeless youth.
It's just unfair that the sins of one have been felt by all.
Chandler says Corrado's alleged actions have had major impacts on the community, with people now unwilling to donate to similar organizations. The nonprofit shuttered in 2022 when Corrado stopped paying bills and employees and fled the country.
I'm just overwhelmed. Finally, there are consequences.
And federal officials do say that Corrado is innocent until proven guilty in court. She is currently being held pending a detention hearing, and that is set for Friday. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
All right, checking now on your forecast on this Wednesday night. A live look over the White House. You can see the flag there in the wind just a little bit at the top of the White House. Our chief meteorologist, Janessa Webb, joining us now for our forecast. And Janessa, some of us getting some drizzly rain, some sprinkles across the region.
Yeah, they continue to linger. Today was a complete washout across the DMV, and we're going to continue to watch this moisture making its way in from northern Virginia. Here's a live look at your current radar. Really, the steadier bands continue to linger out towards the I-95 corridor into Glen Allen and just outside of Richmond area. So that's a good band that's making its way to Sneal, Quantico, Dale City, but really everywhere else across the DMV, it's very light drizzle at this point. We just showed you that live look for Embassy Park into portions of Silver Spring, areas like Montgomery County dealing with some scattered showers. They extend into Washington County, but really the heaviest stuff is just outside of the Fredericksburg area. The storm system is pushing more into Boston, New York City now, and so this is almost the leftovers of the situation, but it is causing visibility to go down towards Kaiser, Cumberland. We're down to 4 to 5 miles in front of you that you can see. There's a good possibility tomorrow morning we'll hit a rinse and repeat situation with a dense fog that will continue to billow up across the region like Prince George's County into DC because temperatures are so mild tonight. We are talking about right now at the 9 o'clock hour still into the lower 50s, and we're not going to be dropping much overnight. As you're kicking off your day, a lot more drier conditions will turn into mostly cloudy. By mid-afternoon, 9 o'clock for your early morning commute will be into the middle 50s. We do have more sunshine, though, in store for your late week. We'll look at the details in a moment.
All right, Janessa, we'll see you then. Thanks. Meanwhile, we have an update in the district tonight. D.C. police arresting a third person in the Mother's Day shooting death of a 10-year-old girl. Ariana Davis died last May after being hit by a stray bullet while riding in the car with her family in Northeast. Today, police charged Charles Owens with first-degree murder. 2 other men are also facing first-degree murder charges. And their Fairfax Connector strike is over. Bus service will resume on Friday. So after a 2-week strike for better pay and better benefits, Fairfax Connector union workers and Transdev have officially reached a contract agreement. The workers union calling the new contract a win. They say it guarantees retirement security, competitive wages, and other priorities that they were fighting for. Well, tomorrow, President Joe Biden will deliver his State of the Union address right here at the U.S. Capitol. You can see we are still 24 hours out, but you can see there the security fencing. It is already up in this live shot from downtown. It's already up around the building. Well, the president's speech comes on the heels of the Super Tuesday primary results. They put the president on an apparent path to becoming the Democratic presidential nominee and Donald Trump the Republican nominee. Now, experts say the State of the Union will offer a chance for President Biden to make his past accomplishments and also future policy priorities clear as he campaigns for re-election in November.
In terms of listening, I think Biden and his team have been saying that we're making things better, but the American people don't necessarily feel better. So he needs to have some real proof. What have they accomplished, and how has it made lives for the average American better?
The State of the Union address is set for tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Now, some streets surrounding the Capitol building will be closing as early as 6:30 tomorrow morning. They include Pennsylvania Avenue between 1st Street Northwest and 3rd Street Northwest. Others, they close later in the day. We have a full list of the traffic impacts on our website, dcnewsnow.com. Well, now to that monumental move, the multi-billion-dollar plan to move 2 pro sports teams across the river from D.C. into Virginia. They face certainly a number of hurdles, including pushback from Virginians. And tonight, ahead of a key deadline, another effort by the city of Alexandria to open dialogue, answer questions, and also discuss the potential impact. Our Max Marcilla live from the Potomac Yard Metro Station tonight. And Max, 2 main issues are being brought up over and over again.
And Chris, there are issues we've talked about a lot, money and transportation. So it makes sense that Alexandria city leaders met with some curious and some skeptical Alexandrians here at the Potomac Yard Metro Station, just steps away from where that new arena could be. Whether the controversial $2 billion plan to move the Capitals and Wizards to Potomac Yard happens, that's first up to state lawmakers.
I'm watching, listening, and waiting to hear what's happening in Richmond.
But here in Alexandria, discussions about what happens if it does in fact move forward.
Yep.
Dialogue with people commuting through a potential future construction zone.
Traffic is awful just coming down here.
We all acknowledge the current conditions, cannot handle this.
City Council member Aaliyah Gaskins, who's also running for mayor, was at the center of discussions. So was Council member Sarah Bagley, but just steps away.
Nobody will confirm that that's what they're going to do.
Familiar foes of the project stopped the arena members holding a sort of counter pop-up event, sharing their information feet away from where city economic officials were sharing theirs.
I think we'd be crazy not to consider the potential economic impacts, but also what are going to be the additional investments in transportation, in housing, and labor.
At the heart of these discussions, roads and traffic, the metro station, and tax dollars.
Why we are spending money on professional sports when we're not doing enough for average citizens.
I do feel it was a productive conversation, but I think transportation and infrastructure has been wildly underrated and under-discussed.
As opposing noise remains and a key deadline looms. And that deadline is Saturday. That's when the Virginia General Assembly wraps up. And what's happening in these final days is that there's a small group of lawmakers meeting behind closed doors, working through a bit of a discrepancy. The House passed a budget that did have the arena in it. The Senate passed a budget without. And in these final days, they'll need to come to some sort of compromise and get another budget proposal. Big question, will the arena be in it? Reporting live in Alexandria, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
All right, still a lot of questions, Max. Thank you. Meanwhile, a warning to keep your guard up when you're out late at night. Police in Leesburg, Virginia, they're looking for 5 men that they say attacked a bicyclist on the W&OD Trail. It happened around 9:30 last night in the area of East Market Street. Now, police said the men pushed the victim off his bike, assaulted him, and then took all his belongings. Now, we're told he is expected to be okay, but so far no arrests have been made. And Virginia state parks are hiring for the summer. They're adding more than 1,000 park rangers to the ranks, the various types of responsibilities. Now, both seasonal and hourly wage positions are available. You can apply now on the Virginia State Parks website. A free performance for commuters at Union Station today. Don't they sound great? Students of the Duke Ellington School of Arts here in D.C. performed in the main halls. Passengers walked through to catch their trains. It is all part of a free concert series presented by the nonprofit Sing for Hope. We're told Union Station will hold other free performances throughout the year.